Stingray Cool back in the building. You see what we about to talk about? The man, the myth, the legend, KRS-One, aka Lawrence Chris Parker, was born August 20th, 1965. Better known as stage name KRS-One, aberration for knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. In Teacher is an American rapper, lyricist, and occasionally producer from New York. He rose to prominence as a part of the hip hop group Boogie Down Production, which he formed with DJ Scott LaRock. Rest in peace. In the mid 1980s, KRS One is best known for his top hits Sound of the Police, Love's Gonna Get You, Material Love, In My Philosophy, among others. Boogie Down Productions received numerous awards and critical acclaim in their early years. Following the release of the group's debut album, Criminal Minded, fellow artist Scott LaRock was shot and killed, but KRS One continued the group effectively as a solo project. He began releasing records under his own name in 1993. He is politically active, having started to stop the violence movement after Scott's death. He's also a vegan activist, expressed in songs such as Beef. He is widely considered an influence to many hip hop artists, including Tupac and Eminem. Birth name Lawrence Parker, also known as KRS. Teacher, the Blast Master, Big Joe Crass, the Temple of Hip Hop, born August 20th, 1965, age 56, New York City, U.S. Genres hip hop, conscious rap, political hip hop, hardcore hip hop, occupations, rapper, record producer, actor, activist, MC, singer. Years active, 1986 to present. Labels, Jive, Duck Down, E1, Aftermath, Associated Acts, Boogie Down Productions, DJ Premier, Tim Dog, Buckshot, Showbiz and AG, Kid Capri, CG, Channel Live, Biography. Lawrence Parker was born in New York City, borough of Brooklyn in 1965 to an American mother. His father is reported to be from the islands of Trinidad, and his stepfather was Jamaican. At age 16, he left home to a become an MC and began living at a homeless shelter in the South Bronx, where he was dubbed Krishna by the residents due to his curiosity in the Hare Krishna spirituality of some of the anti-poverty workers. During his stay at the community shelter, he encouraged youth counselor Scott Sterling, and there began a DJ MC relationship. I know what it's like to be homeless. I've been homeless before, but you see, Carol's one. You can come from being homeless to being rich and drop knowledge and help people, and be intelligent and be a worker. See, spirituality is anti-poverty. During his stay at the community shelter, he encountered youth counselor Scott Sterling, and there began a DJ MC relationship. He also engaged in the street art activity graffiti under the alias KRS One. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. Together, he and Sterling, aka DJ Scott LaRock, created Boogie Down Productions, releasing their debut album Criminal Minded in 1987. Boogie Down Productions, KRS One began his recording career as one third of the hip hop group Boogie Down Productions, um, or BDP, along with alongside DJ Scott LaRock and Derek D. Nice Jones, after being rejected with them, sparking what was later known as the Bridge Wars. Additionally, KRS-One had taken offense to the bridge as sung by Marley Marl's protege MC Shine. MC Shan meant KRS-One later reconciled with Marley Marl, producing an album with him in 2007 titled Hip Hop Lives. The song could be interpreted as a claim that Queensbridge was the momentum of hip hop. Through MC Shine was repeatedly denied this claim, Still carries one Disney song with the BDB record South Bronx. A second round of ballads ensued with Sean's Kill That Noise and BDP's The Bridge is Over. KRS One demonstrated KRS One demonstrating his nickname, the Blastmaster, gave a live performance against MC Shan, and many conceded he had won the battle. Many believe this live performance to be the first MC battle where rappers attacked each other instead of a battle between who can get the crowd more hyped. Parker and Sterling decided to form a rap group together, initially calling themselves Scott LaRock and the Celebrity Three. That was short-lived, however, as the two peripheral members quit, leaving Parker, now calling himself KRS-One, and Sterling. They decided to call themselves Boogie Down Productions. Success in the Word, a 12-inch single produced by David Kenneth Ing and Kenny Beck, was released on Indie Fresh Sleeping Bag Records under the group name 1241, but did not enjoy commercial success. Boogie Down Productions released their debut album Criminal Minded in 1987. Scott LaRock was killed in a shooting later that year after attempting after attempting to meditate a dispute between teenagers and BDB member D Nice and local hoodlums. During this time, KRS-One also gained acclaim as one of the first MCs to incorporate Jamaican style into hip hop using the Zong Goo Zong melody, originally made famous by Yellow Man in Jamaican dance halls early in the decade, while KRS-One used Zong Zong styles in a more powerful and controversial manner, especially in a song titled Remix for P is Free. He can still be credited as one of the more influential figures to bridge the gap between Jamaican music and American hip hop. Following the fatal shooting of Scott LaRock in 1987, KRS was determined to continue Boogie Down Productions through the tragedy, releasing the album By All Means Necessary in 1988. He was joined by beatboxer D Nice, rapper Ramana, Miss Melody Parker, whose marriage to Chris would last from 1988 to 1992, and Chris' younger brother DJ Kenny Parker, among others. However, Boogie Down Productions would remain KRS's show, and the group's content would become increasingly political due to subsequent releases Ghetto Music, the blueprint of hip hop, endorsement, live hardcore word, sex, and violence. KRS-One was the primary initiator behind the HEAL compilation in the Stop the Violence movement. So I guess it got the H period E period A period L. I guess abbreviation or something, but we're gonna see will it be on here. And let's see, Stop the Violence. Yeah, a letter who would compilation in the Stop the Violence movement. For the letter would he would attract many prominent MCs to appear on the 12-inch single Self-Destruction as KRS adopted this humanist, less defensive approach. He turned away from his Blastmaster persona and towards that of the teacher. Although he has constantly used Blastmaster throughout his solo career. After largely after largely solo albums under the name Boogie Down Production, KRS One decided to set up his own on his first solo album, 1993's Return of the Boom Bap. He worked together with producers DJ Premier, Kid Capri, and Soulbiz, and later provided the track Sound of the Police. His second album, 1995's KRS-One, featured Channel Live on Free Mumia, a song in which they criticized civil rights activist C. Dolores Tucker, among others. And other prominent guest stars on KRS-One included Mad Lion, Busta Rhymes, Dasafax, and Fat Joe. In 1991, KRS-One appeared on the alternative rock group REM's single "Radio Song," which appeared on the band's album Out of Time, released the same year. In 1992, Bradley Nowell from Sublime featured an acoustic song named KRS-One. with his voice and DJ's samples. In 1995, Cal S1 organized the rap group called Channel Live, which album stations identification he produced most of, along with Rajab Barrow and Salam Remy. In 1997, Karis One surprised many of us with his release of the album I Got Next. The album's lead single, Step Into a World, Rapture's Delight, containing interpolation of punk and new wave group Blondie, was accompanied by a remix featuring commercial rap icon Puff Daddy. Another track was essentially a rock song, while the record would be in his best-selling solo album, reaching number 3 on the Billboard 200. Such collaborations with notability, mainstream artists, and prominent, easily recognizable samples took many fans and observers of the vehemently anti-mainstream Crash One by surprise. In August 1997, in an appearance on Tim Westwood's BBC Radio 1, Crash One criticized the station for not playing underground hip hop while also crediting Westwood for his promotion of hip hop over time. KRS-One said the Jive Records and Radio One did not support him, but finished by saluting Westwood. You know, you're my man. In 1999, there were tentative plans to release Maximum Strength. The lead single Five Barrels was released on the Corruptor soundtrack. However, KRS-One apparently decided to abort the album's planned release, just as he had secured a position for as vice president of AER at Reprise Records. The failed album was again scheduled to be released in 2008, but ultimately an unrelated album entitled Maximum Strength 2008 was released. In its place, he moved to Southern California and stayed there for 2 years, ending his relationship with Jive Records with a retrospective in 2000. In 2000, Cat as One and DJ Tamek made a video for their single Return of Hip Hop with the German rappers Torch and MC Ren, in which hip hop was revived by hospital staff. The song stayed in the German charts for 9 weeks. KRS-One resigned from his A&R position at Reprise in 2001 and returned to recording with a string of albums beginning with 2001's The Sneak Attack on Cox Records. In 2002, he released a gospel rap album Spiritual Minded, surprising many longtime fans. He had once denounced Christianity as a slave master religion, which African Americans should not follow. During this period, Carlos One founded the Temple of Hip Hop, an organization to preserve and promote hip hop culture. Subsequently, releases includes 2003's Chris Styles in D period I period G period I period T period A period L, aka Digital, 2004's Keep Right, and 2006 Life. The only latter day Carlos One album to gain any significant attention has been Hip Hop Lives, in his 2007 collaboration with fellow hip hop veteran Marilyn Mayo, partly attributed to the bridge wars between the pair, but also the title's apparent response to Nas' 2006 release Hip Hop is Dead. While many critics have committed has commentated they would have been more excited to have a collaboration occurred 20 years earlier, the album was met with positive reviews. Karis One has collaborated with other artists including Canadian rap group Halifax, J Rock, and Jake Beats, and New York producer Domingo. He and Domingo publicly squashed their beef, which started over financial issues, and released a digital single on Hit iTunes on November 26th, 25th. The single titled Radio also featured Utah up and comer Irani, and it dedicated to underground MCs that don't get the radio airplay they deserve. In 2009, Callis One guest starred on several albums, including Arts and Entertainment, on the song Pass the Mic by fellow hip hop veterans Master Ace and Ed OG. Callis One once also featured on the posse cut Mega Fresh X by Kamega alongside DJ Red Alert, Paris Smith, Grand Puba. and Big Daddy Kane on his album Born and Raised. Cavs One and Buckshot announced that they would be collaborating on the album set to be released in 2009. The first single, Robot, was released on May 5th, 2009. The music video was directed by Todd Angreson and debuted on the new joint. It debuted as the new joint of the day on 106 in Park on September 4th, 2009. The album itself, called Survival Skills, leaked on the internet on September 9th, 2009. The album was officially released on September 5th, 2009. It debuted at number 62, making it the Billboard 2,200. It sold around 8,500 copies. Its first weekend was met with generally positive reviews. Steve Jones of RapReviews.com gave the album a flawless 10 out of 10, claiming Buckshot and Carrots One have achieved something rather remarkable here in the album. I can't find a single fault with. There's not a bad beat, there's not a whack rhyme, there's not a collaborator on a track that missed the mark, and the disc itself is neither too short nor too long. In 2010, KRS One was honored along with Buckshot by artists Rusta Jux, Torre, and Skazoo. Stimuli promises James J. A. E. S. Watson Team Facelift on their mixtape Survival Kit on the odd to the 2009 album Survival Skills. The mixtape was released for download on duckdown.com. The album features new versions of Kara's classic South Bronx Sound of the Police and MC's acts like They Don't Know, as well as versions of the well-known Buckshot songs and past present features from the Survival Skills album. The MC Fasson said is in his verse on MC's Act Like They Don't Know, I did it to make Chris smile. I figured he appreciated it. Karis One was featured on the as the voice of Kris Kringle in Nick Keys' Most Valuable Puppets commercial. Searles. Karis One once performed. Karis One performed in May 2010 at Sony Newport's in their annual Rock Against Racism concert. He narrated the 2011 film Rhythm and Punishment and document about hip hop artists who have done jail time. The same year, Chaos One was featured in the title song for the film You Got Served, Beat the World. The song is entitled Hip Hop Nation and features Khan and Lena. It was produced for the film by Frank Fizakovich. In 2012, Chaos One toured Australia for the first time. He traveled there by cruise ship as he hates flying. I don't blame him. I hate flying too. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of airplanes. On December 2020, Karis One released his 23rd solo album, Between the Protests, Stop the Violence Movement. The Stop the Violence Movement was formed by Karis One in 1988-89 in response to violence in the hip hop and black communities. During the concert, Boogie Down Productions and Public Enemy, a young fan was killed in a fight, coming soon after the shooting death of his friend and fellow BDP member Scott LaRock. Karis One was galvanized into action and formed the Stop the Violence movement, composed of some of the biggest stars in contemporary East Coast hip hop. The movement released a single, Self Destruction, in 1989, with all proceeds going to the National Urban League, and the music was created. Well, yeah, video integrated in a VHS cassette entitled Overcoming Self Destruction. The making of the Self Destruction video was also released. Self Destruction was produced by Carriers One and D Nice of Boogie Down Productions. Hank Scully of Bomb Squad is credited of the Bomb Squad is credited as the associate producer. Temple of Hip Hop. The Temple of Hip Hop is a ministry, archive, school, and society M.A.S. founded by Carriers One. Its goal is to maintain and promote hip hop culture. The Temple of Hip Hop maintains that hip hop is a general political movement, religion, and culture. It's called on all fans to celebrate Hip Hop Appreciation Week on the third week of May. Each year, it encourages DJs and MCs to teach people about the culture of hip hop and to write more socially conscious songs and radio stations to play more socially conscious hip hop. Hip Hop History Month, November, founded by the Universal Zulu Nation, is also recognized. September 11 comments in 2004, KS1 said during a panel discussion hosted by the New Yorker magazines that we shared when 9/11 happened. This comment was criticized by sources including the New York Daily News, which called him an anarchist and said that if Osama bin Laden ever buys a rap album, he'll probably start with the CD by KS1. KS1 responded with an editorial written for all hip hop. It was basically, he was was asked about why hip hop was not engaged in the current situation more meaning 9/11. In response, because it does not affect us, the least we don't play it. Okay, in late 2005, KRS One was featured alongside Public Enemy's Chuck D on the remix of the song Bin Laden by Immortal Technique and DJ Green Lantern, which blames American neoconservatives and Reagan doctrine and U.S. President George W. Bush for the World Trade Center attacks and indicates a parallel to the revolutionary destruction and violence of urban housing projects communities. On April 29, 2007, KRS-One once again defended his statements on the September 11 attacks when asked about them during an appearance on Hannity's America on the Fox News Network. He stated that he meant that people cheered that the establishment had taken a hit, not that people were dying or had died. He also discussed, among other things, Don Imus scandal and the use of profanity in hip hop, gospel hip hop comments, and an interview with All Hip Hop about his book, The Gospel of Hip Hop. Karras once said, "I'm suggesting that in 100 years this book will be a new religion on the earth. I think I have the authority to approach God directly. I don't have to go through any religion or train of thought. I can approach God directly myself. So I wrote a book called Gospel of Hip Hop to free from all things nonsense garbage right now. I respect the Christianity, the Islam, and the Judaism, but their time is up. In 100 years, everything that I'm coming to say will be common knowledge, and people will be like, why did he have to explain this? Wasn't it obvious? The comments have been referred by numerous media outlets such as the AV Club, which commented that KRS One writes 600-page hip hop Bible blueprint for rap religion, and KRS one has never been afraid to court controversy and provoke strong reactions. Now that the Boogie Down production legend has topped himself by writing the gospel of hip hop, the first instruments and mammoth treatises on the spirituality of hip hop, he hopes he will someday become sacred text in new hip hop religion, personal life. Carries One is a vocal supporter of veganism. He supported Ron Paul for president during his 2012 run. Carries One's stepson Randy Parker was found dead in his Atlanta, Georgia apartment on July 6, 2007. The medical examiner's office stated that Parks had died of a gunshot wound to the head and listed cause of death as suicide. His son, Chris Parker, born 1992, is an aspiring music producer and DJ known as Predator Prime Awards, VH1, 2004. VH1 Hip Hop Honors, BET Hip Hop Awards, 2007 I Am Hip Hop, 2007 Lifetime Achievement, Urban Music Awards, 2009 Living Legend Awards, Bronx Walk of Fame, 2001 Discography. See, studio albums, Return to Boom Bap, 1993, Carry One, 1995, I Got Next, 1997, The Sneak Attack, 2001, Spiritual Minded, 2002. See, Return of Boom Bap 1993, Careless One 1995, I Got Next 1997, The Sneak Attack 2001, Spiritual Minded 2002, Chris Styles 2003, Keep Right 2004, Life 2006, Adventures of Emissinian 2008, Maximum Strength 2008, The BDB album 2012, Never Forget 2013. Now Here It Is 2015, The World Is Mine 2017, Streetlight First Edition 2019, Between the Protests 2020, and Max Crew 12 2022, Boogie Down Production albums, Criminal Minded 1987, Do All Means Necessary 1988, Ghetto Music, The Blueprint of Hip Hop 1989, A Decimate 1990, Sex and Violence 1992, Hip Hop Lives with Merlin Merrill in 2007, Survival Skills with Buckshot 2009, Metal Historical with True Master 2010, Godsville with Showbiz 2011, Royalty Check with Bumpy Knuckles 2011, Filmography 1988, I'm gonna get you, sucker. 1993, Who's the Man? 1997, Subway Stories Tales from the Underground. 1997, Rhythm and Reason. 1997, The Cut. 2000, Barackwas Bond. 2000, Freestyle The Art of Rhyming. 2002, The Freshest Kid. 2003, Tupac Forever. 2003, Beef. 2003, Hip Hop Babylon 2. 2003, Sounds of Spirit. 2003, Five Sides of a Coin. 2003, Muska Beats. 2004, War on Wax. Rivalries in Hip Hop. 2004, Beef 2. 2004, and You Don't Stop, 30 Years of Hip Hop. 2004, Hip Hop Honors. 2004, Keep Right. 2005, MC Why We Do It. 2005, The Art of 16 Bars, Get Your Bars Up. 2005, Zoom Prap. 2006, A Letter to the President. 2007, Bomb It. 2008, The Bomber Deception. 2009, Good Hair. 2011, Rhythm and Punishment. 2011, Ghetto Physics. 2012, Something from Nothing, The Art of Rap. 2012, Hidden Colors. 2015, Hustlers Conversation. 2018, Luke Cage. Books, Break the Corn, Chain, Carrots 1, 1994, Science of Rap, self-published 1996, Out of Print 1996, Rumor Taste and Welcome Rain, published July 25th, 2003, Out of Print 2003, Gospel Hip Hop, First Instrument 2009, and that's the story of KRS-One.